Hey everyone, Sergio here with the Rideshare Guide. What do we say on Show Me the Money Club? Work smarter, not harder. If you aren't using the Solo app, which I have been for the past year and a half, you may be working a lot harder than you need to. Let's change that. Download the app, link your account where you can manage your income, track your expenses, as well as your taxes. Not only that, but you can plan by optimizing your time, make more money, and even guarantee your daily pay with guaranteed earnings. Download the Solo app today. Begin to work smarter, not harder. Link is in the description. Let's get back to it.
We've been talking about subscription models for a few different things. What happens if Uber is now thinking about the subscription model?
Yeah, Natalie Lung, who's a good friend at Bloomberg, wrote this article. As you guys know, I tried to help a rideshare company called Y-Ride, which was the subscription model. And so Uber posted a job listing, Chris, that is exactly for this. So if they're not thinking about it, why are they hiring somebody to be in charge of this, right? Because Uber is getting absolutely their ass handed to them in India. Even the rickshaws there are run by certain apps are only using the subscription model. Empower in New York City, gaining huge traction, right? Although, again, they're legal when they're operating illegally. Under this, though, one thing that is not clear here is, okay, I'm pretty sure all of the people who are watching now are going to watch later, they will take a subscription model. So let's say Uber says, I'm going to rent you my app, my platform, for the day, for the week, for the month. So it may say, okay, today I'm going to rent it to you for $19.99 for one day. Everything you make is yours. How many people would like that? I would like that. Don't you think? Because the Uber's 50% take now is, I'm sure, is going to be a lot higher than that $19.99 a day that Uber may charge. So I will take that. The problem, though, hold on. The problem with that, though, is this. Uber is still going to decide what the rider pays. Uber still decides what you're going to make. That's the bigger issue here. And in this article, and I did try to look into it, I couldn't find the answer. Maybe some of you know. I do like the subscription model. I think the next rideshare company is just like the Favor, the one we talked about in the short topics, is doing the same thing. Y-Ride was doing the same thing until they ran out of cash. I think the subscription model makes a lot of sense. Empower is doing it now, right? However, it did not clarify who is responsible of the insurance.
Exactly.
P1, P2, P3.
And that's the point. What we're forgetting is there's a thing called taxes and fees and government fees, and then, commercial insurance and all these other little fees that add up, where Uber's like, oh, wait, no, we didn't take 50% of your ride. No. That's all of the external expenses that came out of it. So ours is just this little tiny amount right here. This is all we took out. That's we're at 10%. I mean, come on. So when it comes down to it, yeah, who's going to be responsible for that? Is it going to be on the driver? Is it going to be back on the company? Yeah. And then what's it going to look like? Because they can't say keep 100% of the fare. They're going to have to say keep 100% of the fare with an asterisk, minus all expenses and fees and taxes and all this other crap. They're going to have a whole friggin' line item of that says, oh yeah, by the way, the passenger is going to pay $45. You're still going to make $25, and the rest is going to go towards whatever fee we want to make it. And then, we supply the insurance too on both ends. So we get to mark that up, and, we get to.
No, but I get that. I get that.
I mean, that's the sneaky shit that they'll try to do.
I know. I get that.
Down to, but if it comes down to actually business or model, subscription model versus, per ride, the other side is, for full-time drivers, subscription model would be absolutely perfect, because the amount of the rides that you're taking on a per day or per week basis would be much higher than the 80% of drivers who are out there driving. Yep. And they're driving 1 day, 2 days, maybe once every couple of
days a month.
So at that point, it's not as worth it. So That's what it comes down to. But the thing is, if they extrapolate it over everybody, meaning 100% of drivers have to use the subscription model, then they're probably going to be pretty good. But the ones that make out are going to be the full-time drivers. The ones that are going to get screwed are the 80% of drivers that drive, 1 or 2 days.
Well, we had just before they went out of business on Y-Ride, we had the model ready. Like if for a single day, if you're going to use my app and I'm going to provide you with the pings, right? We were going to charge $4.99 for a single day for part-timers. For people who are full-timers, you're going to charge more looking at their history of driving, right? And so somebody said $19.99 my ass. That's a math challenge illiterate person over there. And I'm going like, okay, if you're a full-time driver, you're putting in a 12-hour shift, you're going to the total revenue that the rider is paying probably around $500, okay? And let's say you're looking to gross $250 that day, okay? Why wouldn't you pay the $19.99? Because if the take rate is gone and you pay your $19.99, now what you said is correct, that Uber can play shenanigans and then keep you at that $250 level, and then you're out of pocket $19.99 on top with the external expenses and all that bullshit that we're talking about. I get that. But if Uber and Lyft are going to provide the insurance, P1, P2, P3, or forget P1, there's no P1 anyway, P2, P3, and they charge you something reasonable per day, and you're putting a 12-hour shift, and if the revenue is 500, let's say external expenses may drop, the Uber's take is completely gone, right? Because Uber says we only take 25% after external expenses. Well, that 25% will push you from $250 to $350 or $325 a day. And out of that, maybe they'll take your $19.99 and say, have a nice day. And then for a full-time driver, I think it makes a lot of sense. I think that's the future of business here. And Uber's person that's being hired now says, define and execute product strategies that create net new subscription packages for its drivers and couriers, according to a listing posted this week. I think it's the right direction. I think it's the right thing to do, and a lot of drivers will take this.
I am always going to be leery because when Uber wants to do something, it's for the interest of Uber. It's not for the interest of the driver. So when it comes down to it, I am very, very skeptical when it comes to Uber. Other companies, I have a lot more leniency because they're not Uber and they're not Lyft. So when it comes to rides, when it comes to Y-Ride, when it comes to Power, when it comes to those, I have a lot different leniency because, again, they're not Uber. They haven't had a track record of screwing drivers at every single turn that possibly can. So when it comes to Uber looking at this, my mind automatically goes in, why are they looking at this now? And what's going to benefit them over drivers? Will it actually benefit drivers in it?
I think it will benefit both sides. I think I understand they can play shenanigans, with the external expenses and this and that, but I think if you're a full-time driver, this will be a no-brainer for you, especially if insurance is provided. We'll see what the numbers are going to look like, but if Uber is doing this, they're doing it because they're getting their asses kicked all over the globe with these subscription models. They are losing market share right and left to these companies. There is a company called Namayatri in India. Is rideshare and rickshaws and every other transportation mode. They're on this platform. They're exactly like this subscription model. Since they showed up, Uber's business is dead. So I like it. I do like it. But we'll see. We'll see what it looks like.
We'll see. Once numbers actually come out, once we actually have some physical, actually hard data to look at that point, then. But right now, we're all speculating. My speculation goes straight to, are they going to screw the driver and how?
Okay, subscription equals screw the driver. It is screw the driver now. April, SNO, whatever. Why is it always bad?
Because it's how much more can I insert the fist before they just bleed out?
I'm not buying it.
So
we'll see. We'll find out.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you get notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.